Hey everyone, okay, so today we're going to be talking about the Pfizer vaccine and COVID-19, or at least the Pfizer vaccine, because I have now had my second jab and I wanted to kind of give you my experience on what it was like for me. Okay, so I've had both vaccines now. And by the way, the comment section on this video I turned off for obvious reasons, because people can get very, very angry and start arguing with each other, and we don't want that. So this is just my experience on what happened to me and how I feel after I've had it. So I had the first vaccine, and in all truth, I didn't even feel the needle go in. There was zero pain with that at all. I would say about 12 hours later, my arm was sore, and it remained sore for about 24 hours. Kind of to do that was pretty sore and not a pleasant experience. And that was it, all done. No side effects whatsoever. I was then called back for my second vaccination, and I had that at around about 6 p.m. on a Saturday. And this time I did feel the needle go in. It wasn't painful, but I was aware that it was being done. And I had it done, went home, felt absolutely fine. And then I woke up the next morning, which was the Sunday, and I did not feel well at all. And I'll explain what my symptoms and all of that in a second. It's worth noting that the only negative I had with this experience was that I wish the side effects had been explained to me a little bit more strongly, because they weren't really explained other than you can get some side effects. And we already know what the side effects are because we've seen them, which tends to be flu-like symptoms, a sore arm, nausea, that kind of stuff. So I woke up on the Sunday morning and I got out of bed, and the first thing I noticed was that I was kind of wobbling and I did not feel well. And for a split second I thought I was just overtired. But I realized that as I was trying to walk from my bed to the bathroom, my stomach was turning, as in I was having motion sickness, and I was trying to vomit, but there was no food in my system. I was just kind of retching. And it kind of freaked me out because I've never experienced this kind of disorientation before. Actually, that's a lie. Many years ago, I slipped a disc, many years ago, and I was given very strong painkillers, and they gave me the same motion sickness. But this was incredible dizziness. So when I was sat down, I couldn't move my head up or down without the room moving like this and my stomach going, same with side to side. I've never experienced that. Also, I didn't experience flu-like symptoms. What I experienced was very different. I've had the flu, so I know what it feels like. This wasn't the flu to me. This was like your brain was absolutely knackered. You were tired out, and my brain felt like it was sloshing in water. It's the only way I can describe it. The only way I felt almost okay was to lie down in bed, and the tiredness that went with it was so extreme. It is unlike me to ever want to go to sleep. I never ever want to sleep in the daytime, ever, and I never would. But I slept a lot, and these symptoms lasted for 5 days for me, and the dizziness lasted for 4 days, and each day was slightly better than the day before, but the dizziness was the worst thing I have experienced in terms of I did not know what it was. I didn't like it. It made me feel so unwell. I couldn't drive. I couldn't literally do anything that involved movement. By day 5, I could lift my head up and down and not feel that the room was going and I was about to throw up. And thankfully, it was only 5 days. And this is the irony of it, is that you don't know if you're going to get any symptoms, because I know 2 people in their 90s that had the vaccines, both vaccines. They didn't experience any side effects whatsoever. I also know somebody in their 30s who had it, who didn't experience any side effects whatsoever. So I do think it's kind of hit or miss whether you will or not. I think what happened with me is I just experienced a very strong immune response to the antibodies that were kind of flooding my system. And it made me feel very, very unwell. And I wish that these side effects had been addressed, that you really can feel quite unwell, and there's nothing to panic about. because I was just expecting the flu-like symptoms, and that is not what I received. That's not the symptoms that I had. The dizziness was not flu-like. Throwing up was not flu-like to me anyway. And just this, not bone tired, like when you've got the flu with the temperature going up and down. This was brain tired. And just, it was the most bizarre thing I've ever experienced that I can remember recently. It was just disorientating, and I just felt very, very unwell. That's the only way to describe it. I felt very unwell. But I'm glad I've had it done. 5 days later, I was fine, and we're now just over a week later, and I feel pretty much back to normal. The only side effect I do still have is that I'm still waking up with these kind of mild headaches, and they are very mild. They pretty much don't require any medication for them because they tend to dissipate. I did not have a headache when I had the jab. It started to come as the week went on, but it's again quite mild. But you know, I wanted to share it with you because you hear a lot of horror stories out there about things, and there's conspiracy theories and all this kind of nonsense. And you know, this was my experience with it. It was certainly a strong side effect without a doubt. So glad I'm over it. But again, I know people in their 90s that have had it without any side effects from both shots. So, you know, I don't know why some people experience it and others don't. I did. A friend of mine who's had it experienced side effects. A nurse friend of mine who's had it experienced side effects. But you just don't know what you're going to experience. But it's not life or death. You're just feeling I was really unwell. But it's done now and over with, and I'm glad that I got it done and it's out of the way. And hopefully, you know, more people will continue to get it done. I think at the moment the statistics are 90% have opted in or would like to have the vaccine or are going to have the vaccine, which I think is pretty good. I've got a friend of mine who is lovely, but looks only to this camp over here. So that camp over there will be saying, do not do this, and not looking at the research of it. And me trying to explain it doesn't seem to go very well over. But for me, it was just an unpleasant 4 days, really, a very unpleasant 4 days to say the least. It's Sunday today when I'm filming this, and that was a week ago today that I started to feel unwell. And there was a brief moment where I regretted my decision, but I don't regret it now. I absolutely don't, because I'm over it. It was just some side effects I was experiencing, and you know, I now have hopefully protection against this virus, which is what we want, because we want to be able to go back out. And here in the UK, or at least here in Wales, we have been in another lockdown now since December, and it is now, well, when this video goes live, it will be March, and we're still in another lockdown, which is our 3rd lockdown. So to be able to go back out again, to be able to interact and not be as fearful as we were, I think is going to be a very, very good thing, because it was a very long year. I don't know what other parts of the world their lockdowns were like. Perhaps you can let me know in the comment section whether you're still in one, whether your country or your part of the world didn't have one. But we had a lot of them, and they lasted a very, very long time. And Wales is different than England in terms that England have a roadmap out. Wales hasn't given us one yet. And, you know, it's like, okay, whatever. Because I'm English, I live in Wales, but yeah, I'm waiting for a roadmap out. But anyway, that's my symptoms. You know, I feel fine now, absolutely fine. Still got a minor headache, but it was fine. I'm glad I've done it and it's out of the way, because that's what I want. It's all done now. Anyway, I did say, let me know in the comment section below, but I'm going to turn them off because people will argue and we don't want that. So anyway, I thought I'd share my experiences with you. All done. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.